Hello, Karina Grimbridge here. I am coming to you live tonight because I want to share 5 things that you need to know and need to be thinking about for your ideal client. So, before we get started, say hello. I'd love to know who's watching. Drop a comment below, hashtag replay if you're catching the replay. And for anybody who is really new in their business, or even if you've been having some trouble getting clients, then really you want to be focusing in on who your ideal client is. So step number 1 is figuring out and defining exactly who that client avatar of yours is. And I know that a lot of us can serve so many different people, but it's really important to get super specific and focus in on exactly who our ideal client is. Now, sure, your product or your service could probably help absolutely anybody, but by really focusing in on that ideal client, then you get super clear on who they are, what they need, what they're looking for, and you can talk directly to them, which brings me to my second point, which is your messaging. So when you figure out exactly who your ideal client is, then you want to be focusing in your message to talk specifically to them. Now, when we're too general and when you're trying to kind of like appease everybody and not really push people away, then what you're doing is your message just sounds so generic that everyone goes, that's nice, that makes sense, sure. But nobody's sitting there going, oh my God, she gets me. Yes, I need to work with her. I want her product. I want her service because she gets me. So that's the reaction that you want from your clients. You want them to be sitting there going, oh my God, she's in my head. What is she doing? That recognition. And I'm sure that you've noticed it yourself when you're buying products or maybe a service from somebody else, and you're sitting there listening to them going, oh my God, how did she know that? What does she do? And that's the trigger. That's the emotion that you want to pull out of them, because that's what's going to get them to say, yes, I want your product. Yes, I want your service, because they know you can specifically help them. And when you're trying to be too general, too broad, like I said, people just kind of go, that's nice, but it doesn't really resonate with them. And that, as far as a mindset is concerned, is really important to recognize, because that's a scarcity mindset. So when you think that there aren't enough people out there who are in your niche who would buy your product, then you're running on a scarcity mindset. So that's kind of the energy that you're putting out, as if when you are being very specific, there won't be enough people. And that's really not true, because if you've done your homework and if you've done your research to find out if there's a market for what you're offering, then yes, there are enough clients in that space, and you just need to find them and be talking to them directly. So point number 3 is, does it feel right? So when you're talking to your potential clients, how are you interacting with them? I kind of see this as like almost like an interview process, when you're as if you were going to a job interview. And when you go to a job interview and if you're the one applying for the job, then you're sitting there going, oh, I hope they hire me. I hope they hire me. It doesn't matter what the job is, right? But the thing is, and what I think is really important, whether it's a job interview or chatting with potential clients, is to figure out, you want to know if your service is right for them, but also if they're right for you. And so I think it's really a two-way street here. And if you're just taking on and saying yes to anybody, then that's not really going to serve you and your business. I had some great advice a while back from an awesome mentor that I have, and he said, what did he say? I'm drawing a blank now. I will come back to this. So you want to make sure that you're resonating with your client, but they're also resonating with you. Because when, let's say you're kind of getting that vibe that they're, I don't know, they're not quite the right fit. They're not communicating how you are wanting to communicate. They're not doing their homework. They're not going to get the results that you're helping them get, and they're not going to be happy with the service because they're not necessarily putting in the work. There's many different avenues, different examples depending on your field, but really when you start taking on clients that aren't your ideal clients and don't really vibe with you and your message, then it's not going to be good for you or them. And the point that I had forgotten before was my mentor had said that he only takes on clients that he knows he can serve. And because of that, and in his specific niche, he has a crazy high success rate for what he's doing with his clients. And I think it's something like 96% that they attain their goal after working with him. And that's because he is super picky, super clear on exactly who his ideal client is and who he wants to work for, because he wants you to get the best out of the coaching, and as well he wants to do well for himself in his business, because I know for me as a coach and for my mentor, when my clients do well, I do well. So for me, and I hope for you too, the better that your clients do, the more that success reflects back on you and your business, and obviously in the end will be the best thing for your business. So point number 4 is kind of linked with that, and it's the ability to say no to hi Lauren. It's the ability to say no to the clients that aren't right for you. And this takes a lot of courage, especially when you're just starting out and you're thinking, okay, like I need the money, I need this, I need that. But if they're not the right fit, then it is not a good choice for you. And having the courage and the strength to say, no, I don't think this is the right program for you, I don't think we're the right fit, is in the end the best idea for your business. Now, the tip number 5 is the fact that yes, on the other hand, you can of course take on clients that don't meet your ideal client type, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you just have to make sure going into whatever program or service that you're offering that everyone is on the same page. And even if they may not fit exactly, if they're still they still have a good vibe, you really adore them, working with them, then that's okay to say yes to those people that are outside of your bubble. You just want to make sure that it is the right fit. So those are my 5 tips for all the things that you need to know for your ideal client. So I'd love to know what you think. Drop a comment below, and thank you so much for watching.